Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Witty International School podcast, Roots and Wings with Sonia ma'am and Sheetal ma'am. I am Dhara and today we are going to explore a very important topic close to every Wittian's heart, modern minds and traditional values, value-based learning in a contemporary curriculum. So we are excited to have with us Ms. Sonia Rana, Principal at Witty International School, Malad, and Dr. Sheetal Kapoor, Training and Curriculum Head at Global Schools Group. My question to you is, what does value-based learning mean to you in today's educational context?
So, in today's educational context, as per me, value based learning is not only about having one moral value lesson once in a week for the children, but it's all about the children can live the learning in real life. They should apply the values like responsibility, empathy, kindness when they are outside the classroom. That is the actual application of the values I believe in.
So values, as Ms. Sonia said, that it is something that you apply outside. So it need not be performative, right? Value is something that you imbibe. Therefore, I think Ms. Sonia had a very nice event in her school where we are teaching children to imbibe and, as she said, live the values. In today's world where we see nuclearization of families, where we see urbanization, everything has got so scattered that we are judged by our cognition, we are judged by our intelligence, not by our emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence is something which is going to last longer when AI takes over. Emotional intelligence and the person that you are, that is going to be the actual winner than only cognition, because cognition at some stage might get adapted and adopted by AI, but emotion and a person cannot get adapted and adopted by an AI. So as ma'am said, and I do authenticate that, that value-based learning is something that we live by at Witty, and we not only teach it, but we also practice it.
So I think Matru Pitru is one such event that we
Absolutely.
are talking about.
So we have seen
Absolutely.
during Matru Pitru Pujan, children first time they feel shy. So,
Yes.
but when they take blessings of the parents and when they go to, as they follow their peers and the teachers, finally the emotions what we see in their eyes is like, it makes our day.
Absolutely.
And it makes the parents' day as well. The parents are equally touched by what the
Yes.
children do.
Correct. Okay. Now there are, in the good old days, we had two separate components. One was community living and one was moral science. Slowly, as the curriculums evolved, as syllabi evolved, community living and moral science didn't exist anymore. So we came up with something known as the enrichment hour program, where we saw to it that we identified life skills and we identified soft skills. Having said that, it's not a one day job. You can't tell the child, sit today, I'm teaching you about compassion. It doesn't work like that. It has to be, it is always WIP, it is always work in progress. So there are activities and there are scenarios that are created where we inculcate these values, where we showcase these values. Now, for example, if we want to talk about valor, we want to talk about standing up for your rights, we want to talk about defending our community and our country and our school, we will obviously look into history. History comes alive when we have tabulos and when we have episodes where probably Shivaji's fight is recreated. The learning outcome from that particular episode would be the righteousness. So children learn righteousness. Children learn how established our history was. They learn that times change, eras will change, but situations remain the same. So they will be able to imbibe the learnings of the past era into the scenarios of today. Bullying is something that is very, very common. How to stand up against a bully, how to protect yourself cannot be taught in books. It has to be practically taught. It has to be, when I say practically taught, I'm not having two children fighting, but through scenarios and through examples.
Yes. So for bullying, how we handle, see, there is one way wherein we can tell the children how, why have you done it, okay, and we call the parents. But the other way is we make the child fill self-reflection form. So we want to teach them where they understand their mistake, so they understand what should have been better than this solution, what corrective measures they should take next time. So once they introspect and learn, that learning goes a long way.
Sonia ma'am, could you share some examples on how technology driven learning can be still rooted in traditional values?
So, as per me, technology itself is not a learning. It has to embed it with some kind of learning. So, when we have technology along with value-based learning, we have student exchange program. Like under Global Schools Group, we have 64 campuses. So, children sitting here can talk to Malaysia children, Singapore children, in any country, right? So, when they have this cultural exchange, they share values, they share their learnings. That's how the technology is helping them in this share. So in this way, technology is embedded in value based learning. Also recently we had a Make in India event.
Yes.
And the children, they were given projects. No doubt it was all about innovation, but the idea what children came up with, like there was one app they created, is Age Assist. Okay, in this app, it is done by technology. The app is done by technology, but the idea was Age Assist to help the grandparents in delivering some stuff. Now, when these children, it's student-led event, these children, they don't only go and deliver the stuff, they talk to the grandparents, they ask about their well-being, they ask about their happiness quotient, take their blessings, which makes them feel that there is somebody who is taking care of them. So this is how technology is helping them in value-based learning. Because itself we cannot say, oh, technology is not a learning. Okay, they have learned how to use technology along with the other learning styles.
Absolutely. So, technology is a tool like any other. How a teacher uses a board, how a teacher uses a book. Technology is a tool which needs to be integrated into the learning. It's not a standalone thing. And yes, looking at the pace that we are all growing, uh, it is important for technology to be there because it takes care of so much more and it brings learning that much more closer. Case in point, Chat GPT. All of us were looking at Google and then doing our search. Now we put our question in Chat GPT or any other. Chat GPT is not paying me, but we put in any other kind of an app which assimilates all the learning and throws it back at us, and then we can utilize it. But using technology, for us to be able to make technology beneficial to us, we need to be able to ask the right kind of question.
Correct.
If we don't
Very
ask the right,
prompters.
yeah, the prompters are very important. And as ma'am rightly said about the Make in India event, children came up with such brilliant projects. They kept in mind the emotional quotient, they kept in mind the sustainability goals, they kept in mind the environment, and that's where they put together the entire project. So, if you do a task analysis of the project, there would have been a lot of brainstorming, which is human led. There would have been a lot of research, which is tech led. There would have been a lot of assistance from AI tools. There
Correct.
would have been a lot of assistance from 3D printers. So it was beautifully integrated, keeping in mind the emotions, keeping in mind the environment, and keeping in mind the larger good of the community. So this is a perfect example how tech, values, and learning go hand in hand.
I think the usage of this technology we have also seen while
But not even a single project is like this which is not connected to the values.
Correct.
Whether you talk about age assist, you talk about making a helmet which will help in saving a person from an
Yes.
accident, right? Whether you talk about saving the stray dogs, so our children went and helped the stray dogs. So every project was value based along with the technology. That is the beauty of the regular learning in school. So it goes every day. Every day they learn values. Not even a single day they leave school without learning values.
So Sheetal ma'am, you have been with the school since the longest time. So in what ways have you seen the children apply these values outside the classrooms?
Yes, so you're right, Dara. I've been around since inception. So I've seen generations of children grow and leave the school. And it's a very proud moment when you see our alumni wanting to come back to the school with projects to give back to the community. So we had a child, she approached us and she wants to do a series of sessions with the support staff to educate them on cybersecurity, which I think is the need of the hour because everything is app based. Google Pay, Paytm, everything is right there. And for the not so educated, they can get carried away. So it's a very brilliant initiative where she is giving back, where the values are coming back. There is even currently within our school, children are encouraged to spend festivals with the not so privileged, whether it is the orphanages or it is the underprivileged lot. Right from preschool, we encourage that, where the preschoolers are encouraged to give away a toy or a dress, they themselves give it away. We collect it, and then it's a collaborative effort. They cannot go to the orphanage because they're too young, but our student council represents them, represents the school, and then we give it to the beneficiaries is generally a school for the underprivileged. We also conduct blood donation camps where our council, of course, they cannot donate blood, they are not at the right age, but they do a lot of campaigning for it. And again, our beneficiaries are either a cancer hospital or a children's thalassemia hospital. So these collaborations, they somewhere imbibe that value of compassion in children and the gratitude that they are having that kind of privilege when they see people wanting those kind of privileges. So it's good for the children to develop gratitude for what they have. Otherwise, they take it for granted.
So our children do celebrate festivals at orphanage, at old age home with the elderly people. And recently we have planned on this Diwali, we are celebrating our Diwali with the blind children. They are coming to our campus wherein they will spend one day at Witty. And we have planned a lot of activities, some fun games and chit chat during the food time. So this is how they will learn that okay, our children have got everything by God's grace, but they will still get to learn from those who are not so privileged.
Yes.
I think we also had teach one,
Yeah, each one teach one,
session,
yes.
wherein our
Joy of
council
giving.
had taken the initiative of teaching an entire 2 hours to our ancillary staff and give them
Wonderful.
a basic knowledge.
I think
Amazing.
we have a child who is running this Padhao
Yeah,
India.
Padhao
right?
India.
Yeah.
He is a young kid of grade 6 and he's been running this NGO since he was in grade 3 during COVID times. So it is very nice to see when the head, heart, and hand is involved. As Gandhiji would have said, education is complete when the head, heart, and the hand is involved. So I guess these are beautiful avenues where we can channelize children's thinking into joy of giving.
Yes.
So, ma'am, we spoke all about children, but how do parents perceive this idea of blending the traditional values to the modern curriculum?
So, parents nowadays are not looking only preparing the children for exams or doing well in their career, they are also looking at where we can prepare children for real life, and where they live their life with values wherever they go. Wherever they go and settle abroad or in India. Every parent feels that they carry India and its culture and values in their heart. So parents have been very, very appreciative, and they have been showing this gratitude that Viti prepares the children with values. So when we have an event, as I earlier mentioned, during Matru Pitru, parents had teary eyes and they were emotional. So these values go a long way when children go home and follow the same thing with the grandparents. When they share this with the grandparents, that this is what happened in our school, so it connects the school with the whole family. So schooling is not only about preparing a child, it takes the whole family together. So when we have an event, say we'll have now Navratri celebration, so we don't invite only the students and the parents, we invite the whole family. The invite goes to the family where they come together, the parents, the grandparents, both the grandparents. So that's how they enjoy the celebration as a family. You would like to
Yeah,
add something
yeah.
to this,
So,
ma'am?
Viti, home and school are extension of each other, right? If we look at the child uh, in holistic manner, so there are pillars, and the school and the home, they are the strong pillars to form a strong basis for the child. So every school is teaching a set curricula. Every school is teaching English, math, science, history, all what has been defined. But what is Witty doing? Witty is adding the culture, Witty is adding the value, Witty is involving the parent into the school. So when we say that we have a child-centric pro-parent approach, this is what we mean, where we, even when we make decisions, we send out circulars and we see to it that parents, we have the parental buy-in. Without having the parental buy-in, how will we do this? So our value-based education, our child at the center and getting the family into the life of the school, this is very important for Viti as such. Where and when we have very very centralized events, like we have the Namokar Mantra Divas,
Yes.
and when this Namokar, it's an internationally acclaimed day which happens on 9th of April. So it was very heartening for the parent.
So there was a parent who met me last month during our Guru Purnima. We did one skit wherein we showed the Ramayana. Okay, so after participating in that skit, the child started reading Ramayana at home. So that's how it motivates the children.
Yes.
Okay, they want to go back to the culture, they want to understand what their parents have read. And the generation gap, what we talk, so where is the problem? The generation gap is the problem, to be very frank. And if we can reduce this generation gap, so the understanding, the compassion, the bonding between the parent and the child also improves. So at times we don't know what kind of learning helps where. So this is the learning which helps the parents also bonding better with the children, because the generation gap reduces, because that's how you are connected with the values.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think for the events as, let us say, small as inaugurating the new fleet of buses, we had
Grandparents coming
yes,
in.
coming
yes.
in.
Yes.
And they're very happy to do that.
Yes.
The smiles that we see on their faces, again, a blend of culture and values there as well.
Yes.
Yes. So recently we
वो बड़ों
inaugurated
का
our
आशीर्वाद है.
recently we inaugurated our IMAC lab.
Yes.
So we did it with the student council, but they had to do tikka to every PC, every desktop, every iMac. So that's how they were like, oh, so this is the way we need to
Yes.
new start. That's how they learned anything new. When you get how you need to start. Yeah, the positive learning basically.
So, ma'am, this was about the present. Now, as we perceive the future, how do you see this value-based learning, take ahead in the next decade?
So as I had said that, and as even Sonia ma'am mentioned, the children, parents want children to take values at heart, India in their heart, and go wherever they want. Um Now, if we see, we are in a very interesting, we are at the crux of a very interesting era, where robots are taking away jobs, where tech is taking away and leaving us with a lot of time and lot of energies to think, right? There has been a time where values have got diluted, where we have looked towards West for taking the next leap of enhancement. But there is a lot of reversal happening where the West is looking towards us when it comes to the values.
Correct.
Yoga, case in point, yoga.
Yes.
Yoga is big all over the world, right? So it is the values, it is the human being, it is how we think that is going to be very, very indigenous to us. AI can replicate, tech can replicate, but what we are as people, the values that we hold, the way we conduct ourselves, that is very, very indigenous and very personal to us, which cannot be replicated, right? It can be imbibed, it can be imitated, but it can never be replicated as such. So, going ahead in the future, what I see is that there is going to be a very happy cohesion, a very happy marriage between tech and values. There's going to be something where the child is going to roots and wings, where the child is going to be, and we have that onus on us, where we need to keep our children rooted into the culture and the values, but at the same time, give them a global perspective. So, glocal is the new mantra. You live globally, but you think locally. That is going to be the new mantra. The local values, the local way of thinking, what we have grown up with our scriptures, what we've grown up with our Vedas, that is now slowly getting translated. Maybe bite sized translations because we don't have that much of wherewithal to sit and read for so many hours, but maybe bite sized translations, but it's all coming back because we realize that this is actually the way of life. Seven habits of what do you say, seven habits of successful people, they're imbibed in the scriptures, they are not taken from anywhere else. So it's all coming back, but only it's remodeled, repackaged, but it is the same thing that is coming back. And that is what is the onus lies with us as educators, where we need to give them roots of values and wings of change.
Correct.
Yes, Ms.
Yes.
Sonia.
So what I feel is in the coming days, values are going to be more personalized and experiential.
Absolutely.
Okay, so they need to look into themselves. They will not be able to, children will not be able to follow exactly what the other person is doing. So it is all about their own inner self. So now if you see, we talk about happiness quotient. Okay, we talk about, okay, how many days we work, how much time we get to spend with family. Again, the days are coming back. If you see, these things were discussed in the olden days, where people used to spend time with the family. Okay, but now again, I think we have all started discussing about this, that you need to spend time with the family. So I feel this is the change which we can see now, and it is going to be more in the coming decade, I feel.
Absolutely. In fact, we try and create projects where they have to go back home and work with the family.
Yes.
So, bonding with the family is very, very important because that is only going to enhance yourself.
Like we say, the history is going to repeat itself every
Yes.
time.
Yes.
And we are going to have all those things coming back. Currently also we have a lot of our things which are happening in the past,
Yes.
right from fashion to everything.
Yes,
Even the
yes.
past fashion is coming back.
Coming
Yes.
back.
And
So even this generation children, they know the old songs.
yes.
How do they know the old
Yes.
songs?
Yeah.
Because
Know in
somehow
the
they,
remix version, but they
yeah,
know them.
they know the
They know
old
them.
songs. Yes.
Yes. And India is very culturally rich. Value based and culture has always been the basis of our entire growing up. And somewhere, as I said, that we did lose out on that, but it's never too late to regroup and come back.
My this question is to both of y'all. If you had to define, the term modern minds with traditional hearts, the essence of it, how would you define that?
So as per me, Modern minds means creating and cultivating the learners who are innovative thinkers, but they should never lose the sight of kindness, empathy, respect as their guiding lights.
So, I feel that we are equipping children for a world that we haven't seen. So, we don't know what that world looks like. They are going to be employable or whatever, going into the real world maybe 10, 15 years hence. But what we know from the past are the values and the roots which will take them there. So, for me, keeping them rooted in that so that it's a springboard for them to get into a successful zone when they are in the real world 10, 15, 20 years hence, but they will remember being rooted in values, in tradition, in humanitarian way of thinking so that it gives them that kind of success.
Sheetal ma'am, Sonia ma'am, thank you so much for joining us for the very first episode of the Witty podcast, Roots and Wings, where we nurture the values and embrace the future.
Thank you so much, Dhara, for having us.
Thank
It
you.
was
Thank
a
you so
pleasure.
much, Dhara.
Stay tuned for more episodes of the Witty podcast. Until next time.